Breaking news coming in at this hour. BJP leader has been shot dead in broad daylight in Madhya Pradesh's Katni district. This is the BJP leader Neelu Rajak, who was shot dead in the broad daylight in Madhya Pradesh's Katni district. The murder was carried out by two masked assailants on a bike, and the visuals that we have accessed for you are on the screen. This is the CCTV footage from the area near the Bank of Baroda in Kaimur town around 11 a.m. when two people who came on a bike shot dead this BJP leader in broad daylight. Raises multiple questions on the law and order situation in the state as well as in the area. These are the visuals on your screens. You can see two people riding a bike, and then just a short while after this video was captured, this BJP leader Neelu Rajak was shot dead by these two assailants. The cops, we are yet to know have they apprehended them or not, but this is the CCTV footage of the attack that has gone viral and triggering widespread outrage and protests across the district. Several people are demanding justice for the BJP leader who was shot dead. Remember, it is a BJP government in the state, and several questions are being raised. Was it a targeted killing or not? Or was he just killed in some domestic dispute? But the reason behind this shooting is not yet known. The cops are probing, and the CCTV footage is being the key evidence in this whole area and the crime scene. Eyewitnesses reported multiple gunshots and chaos. And we also have some reactions coming in from the cops. Let's listen in.
मांग करी गई थी कि इसमें जो भी लोग संलिप्त हों, जिन लोगों ने संरक्षण दिया है, उनके खिलाफ भी कार्रवाई की जाए। हम पहले से ये कहते आ रहे हैं और अभी भी ये कह रहे हैं कि जो भी लोग संलिप्त होंगे, जो संरक्षण दे रहे होंगे, उनके खिलाफ में कठोर से कठोर कार्रवाई करी जाएगी। इसमें जैसा कि बताया गया कि कुछ लापरवाहियां रही हैं टीआई के द्वारा, उसको देखते हुए टीआई को अभी फिलहाल सस्पेंड करके लाइन अटैच किया गया है, और इसमें अन्य जो भी लोगों की संलिप्तता है उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई की जाएगी। जहां तक बात है उनकी गिरफ्तारी की, हमारे प्रयास जारी हैं, लगातार जल्दी गिरफ्तारी करके कठोरतम कार्रवाई उनको की जाएगी।
इन आरोपियों के नाम क्या है?
अभी फिलहाल जो प्राथमिक जांच में सामने आया है उसमें अकरम नाम आया है और एक प्रिंस नाम आया है। दोनों की तलाश लगातार की जा रही है, जल्द से गिरफ्तारी की जाएगी।
ये डीएवी स्कूल के गेट पे जब नीलू रजक वहाँ पहुँचा तो एक मुस्लिम लड़का था, उसका नाम संभवतः अकरम बताया जाता है। उससे जो विवाद हुआ छेड़खानी को लेकर, तो उसने वहीं पे गेट के सामने स्कूल की तरफ यहीं पर बम पटक देंगे तेरे ऊपर। तो वहाँ कहासुनी बढ़ गई, उनका विवाद बढ़ गया। थाने पहुँचे तो थाने में भी उल्टा नीलू रजक के ऊपर ही कार्रवाई हुई, जो कि उस बिटिया के कारण वहाँ पे गया हुआ था। बाद में थाने में ही उस मुस्लिम लड़के ने नीलू रजक को बोला कि तेरे को बीच चौराहे पे गोली मारेंगे, और आज डेढ़ महीने के अंदर बीच चौराहे पे नीलू रजक को सिर्फ इसलिए गोली मार दी गई क्योंकि लव जिहाद के विरोध में उस लड़की की इज्जत आपको बचाने के लिए वहाँ पे गया।
And my colleague Anurag Dwari is also joining me on the phone line with more details. Anurag, do tell us about this BJP leader. Why was he targeted?
A local BJP leader. He was also associated with the Bajrang Dal in the past, and he was headed to the market on his motorcycle, and he was shot dead by two men identified as Prince Joseph and Akram Khan. And when his 56-year-old father, Prince Joseph's 56-year-old father, also died by suicide hours later after hearing reports on his son's alleged involvement in the murder. Basically, Rajak had previously, had an altercation with the accused Akram Khan. Some people are saying over parking issue at the DAV school there, and the local MLA, former minister, Sanjay Pathak has said that it was over a girl, and she complained to Nilesh Rajak about harassment by Akram Khan, and when he intervened, then Akram Khan threatened him, and just in after a month he shot him in broad daylight in Katni. The town is tense. The schools are closed in Kaimur for tomorrow, and there's a heavy police deployment there. Both the accused are on the run.
Right, thank you so much, Anurag, for giving us those details. So, over a parking dispute, this crime took place. The schools are closed. You can imagine the law and order situation in the area and the chaos that erupted after this murder that was done in broad daylight. Thank you so much, Anurag, with those details. And the biggest story of the day, the Mahagathbandhan's manifesto in Bihar has been finally unveiled, and it promises sweeping welfare measures including one government job per family, 2,500 monthly rupees to support to women, free electricity and revival of the old pension scheme in Bihar if the MGB, the Mahagathbandhan, comes to power. But critics, including the NDA, argue these pledges could cost several lakhs and crores even and strain Bihar's deficit-ridden budget, raising concerns about fiscal sustainability and trade-offs with development. Can Bihar realistically implement these promises? And how will the NDA respond? The NDA has called this a jumla, just a fake narrative that has been set by the Mahagathbandhan to earn voters' trust. But will they deliver it or not? As the BJP has said that this is just a jumla and nothing will come in real. But the Mahagathbandhan has promised that everybody will be given some assurance, be it in financial terms or in job security or the health benefits. Everything will be taken care of if the Mahagathbandhan, the India bloc, comes to power in the upcoming elections. Remember, the voting will take place in the first phase on November 6th. All eyes will be on November 14 when the results will be out, whether it will be the Mahagathbandhan which will win the elections or the NDA under Nitish Kumar and PM Modi's leadership. This remains to be seen. Sample the reactions we are getting in.
क्या विजन होगा एनडीए का अगला 5 साल, क्या ब्लूप्रिंट होगा? अभी तक उन लोगों ने घोषणा पत्र भी जारी नहीं की है। आखिर क्या कारण है? उनके पास कोई प्लान नहीं है, यानी उनके पास विजन नहीं है, यानी साफ तौर पे हम कह सकते हैं कि एनडीए में जो लोग हैं वो सब विजनलेस लोग बैठे हुए हैं। कि बीजेपी के लोगों ने, भ्रष्ट अधिकारियों ने नीतीश जी को पुतला बना करके रखा है कि नीतीश कुमार जी बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होंगे। ये बात अमित शाह जी ने कहा है कि नीतीश जी का इस्तेमाल जो है भाजपा के लोग कर रहे हैं। चुनाव के बाद वो कभी भी मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश जी को नहीं बनाएंगे।
खोदा पहाड़ निकली चुईया, इस तरह का कोई व्यवस्था लोगों के घोषणा पत्र में नहीं आया। उनको बताना चाहिए कि इसका पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, क्या बजट लगेगा, किन चीज़ों को कैसे करेंगे। 15 साल जो लालू जी ने राज किया उसका क्या बार माफ़ी मांगा, ये सब जानकारी देना होगा ना। लालू जी के अराजकता को जनता को बताना पड़ेगा, माफ़ी मांगना पड़ेगा और इसके एक्सपेंडिचर को बताना भी पड़ेगा कि आप कैसे इसको स्थापित कीजिएगा, किन चीज़ों को करिएगा और इस पर पूरा फोकस करना चाहिए। इसलिए ये सिर्फ घोषणा वाली मैनिफेस्टो।
Joining me now is Congress's Pawan Khera, sir. Manifesto seems to be focused on the issue of jobs, of employment and the economy at the rural level, which is an issue in Bihar. But the question of the fiscal viability of these measures has been repeatedly questioned. What would be your response?
People who are questioning the fiscal viability of our manifesto need to assess what they have been up to over the last 20 years. Giving away resources of Bihar to their chosen friends is not the way you implement any scheme. So they have no right, no moral right to question us on the viability of what we've said.
Okay, you're saying they cannot question you on the viability of the schemes, but one more question that's been raised is that is it about Tejashwi Yadav's manifesto or is it NDA's manifesto is another question that's raised.
NDA? Why should NDA?
But the imagery of it seems to be focused only on the chief ministerial
obviously
candidate.
He's our chief ministerial face and he's the joint chief ministerial face of Mahagathbandhan. So obviously we will highlight him. Nothing wrong with that. The people who have inspired us, our leaders, Mallikarjun Kharge ji, Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, they have inspired us to come up with a manifesto which takes care of almost every section of the society.
बता देना चाहते हैं कि सरकार बनेगी तो वक्फ बोर्ड का कानून का जो बिल है उसको कूड़ेदान में तेजस्वी फेंकने का काम और तेजस्वी जब मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा तो बेरोजगारी से लड़ाई लड़ेगा। जब तेजस्वी मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा तो पूरे बिहार के 14 करोड़ को सीएम बनाने का काम करेगा, यानी सीएम मतलब चिंता मुक्त।
देखिए, मुसलमान भाई से कहूंगा तो वो मेरी बात नहीं मानेंगे। वो आज की तारीख में लालू यादव और ये कांग्रेस के बंधुआ मजदूर हैं। है हिम्मत तेजस्वी यादव में, लालू यादव में, राहुल गांधी में ये घोषणा कर दें कि अगर 18% और 20% आबादी बिहार में मुसलमानों का है तो वो मुख्यमंत्री होगा।
बहुत दिनों तक रस्सा कसी चली, तो अब तो आप चुनावी मोड में आ गए, आप खुश हैं जितनी सीटें मिली या जो वादे किए गए, आपको डिप्टी सीएम भी घोषित कर दिया गया?
नहीं, निश्चित तौर पे देखिए इच्छा रखते थे कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सीट मिले, बट जो भी मिला है वो गठबंधन में सबके सहमति से हुआ है। और अभी हम लोग चुनाव प्रचार में निकल चुके हैं, आज संकल्प पत्र भी हमने जारी किया है और कई सभा हमने ऑलरेडी कर चुका है और कल से हमारा 10-10, 12-12 कार्यक्रम पर डे है, तो अभी हम लोग सरकार बनाने में लगे हुए हैं।
आपकी जो नाराजगी है वो नाराजगी दूर हो गई, आपको तो डिप्टी सीएम भी घोषित कर दिया?
बिल्कुल ही नाराजगी नहीं था कभी भी, और इच्छा रखते थे ज़्यादा सीट लाने का, ठीक है, नाराजगी कभी भी नहीं रहा। गठबंधन में रहना है और मजबूती से बिहार में बदलाव लाना है, तो उसके लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, बट अगर, क्योंकि आप नीतीश कुमार के प्रशंसक रहे हैं, तो अगर कभी जरूरत पड़ी ऐसा कि नीतीश कुमार को आपको समर्थन देना पड़ा या आपकी संख्या बल की जरूरत पड़ गई, तो
ये कैसे हो सकता है? अभी वो तो रिटायरमेंट का समय आ चुका है, वो उल्टा हम लोगों को समर्थन देना चाहिए। अगर मान लीजिए कुछ दिक्कत है तो वो तो उनके विचार को लेकर तो हम लोग चलने वाले हैं। अब वो हम लोगों को घर बसाने का काम करें, हम लोगों को आगे बढ़ाने का काम हमेशा करें। अब नीतीश जी अभी इस उम्र में कहाँ से दुल्हा बनने का सोचेंगे?
कभी भी कोई ऐसी परिस्थिति आए तो क्या मुकेश सहनी जरूरत पड़े तो क्या नीतीश जी या उनके गठबंधन को समर्थन दे सकते?
बिल्कुल नहीं, ये सवाल करके हमको बेइज्जत कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, पर पूछ
रहे हैं लेकिन बेइज्जत कर रहे हैं। यही सवाल आप अमित शाह जी से करिए ना एक बार, तो क्या आपके समर्थन देने के लिए तेजस्वी को जाएंगे क्या?
In a shot in the arm for the Delhi government, the cloud seeding trial was successful. That was carried out by the Rekha Gupta government amid rising air pollution. But was it successful on the ground with the artificial rain? Well, in several cases, it was successful as Delhi launched an artificial rain experiment to tackle its severe air pollution. After 2 trial attempts, 2 precipitation events were recorded in Noida and Greater Noida, and the trials helped on the reduction of particulate matter to at some location. Marginal relief was given to us who were living in severe polluted air. But the moisture content predicted by the IMD was low at 10 to 15%, which is not ideal for cloud seeding as per the official Delhi government report. Now, a Cessna 206H aircraft took off from the IIT Kanpur airstrip for a cloud seeding operation over the capital as part of a pilot project led by the institute. And later on, we saw how the cloud seeding was successful by the Delhi government, giving some relief to Delhiites, and we will see how it will actually help in us to us in future. My colleague Shivarur, in fact, is joining us with more details. Take a look.
Delhi, among the world's top 3 most polluted cities, a metropolis cursed with an annual winter that is essentially genocidal in its toxicity without exaggeration, is finally experimenting. Delhi is finally experimenting with cloud seeding, a phrase whispered like a miracle cure every winter to people who are unlucky enough to live in the Delhi NCR region at this time of year, yet never seen any action. Today, October the 28th, 2025 is a red letter day because cloud seeding, which we've heard about so many times, has finally happened. A Cessna aircraft took off today from Kanpur, loaded with a chemical called silver iodide, loaded into flares. It climbed to 20,000 feet, flew upwind into a deck of moisture-laden clouds over North Delhi's suburbs, and fired its load of these flares that you see in those pictures. This was the act of what is called cloud seeding, viewer. The science of cloud seeding is debated, but it's actually fascinating. Tiny crystals of silver iodide drift into supercooled clouds in the air, acting like artificial ice nuclei. The water vapor freezes around these nuclei, droplets grow heavy, collide, and then fall almost as artificially induced rain. In Delhi, what this is expected to do, we don't know if it's going to happen, we're still waiting, is that it's expected to wash down the PM 2.5 particles, stubble smoke, and Diwali toxins to the ground. It basically washes the air of all the pollutants and makes them drift away as rainwater. Now, clouds need these nuclei to form ice. Nature uses dust. Cloud seeding uses these silver iodide particles because its crystal shape basically mimics ice. Now, if things go right, and I don't know if they will, this process can boost rain by between 10 to 15%. First question to you, sir, is can you give us a sense of whether today's cloud seeding experiment was successful? The flight took place earlier today. We haven't had an update since then. We haven't seen rain either. What happened, sir?
So we actually did two sorties, one in the afternoon, one slightly later in the evening. A total of, I believe, 6 plus 8, 14 flares have been fired. I just want to make one correction. I was listening to you that these flares consist exclusively of silver iodide particles. That is not quite correct. We have our own mixture where the silver iodide content is only about 20%. The rest is a combination of rock salt and common salt.
Okay.
So this, as I said, this was fired. The aircraft has returned to Meerut airfield. There hasn't been any rain so far. So in that sense, it was not completely successful. But unfortunately, the clouds that are present today do not have very high moisture content. I'm told it was only up to 15-20%. So the possibility of causing rain with such low moisture content is not very high. But we hope that at least this trial has given more confidence to our team that we can continue conducting these trials. And we'll again try tomorrow, and let's see what happens.
How many more such flights are scheduled, sir, as part of this particular experiment?
So tomorrow we are going to do 2 more flights. And then we'll continue doing as and when we get cloud cover.
And my colleague Ishika is joining me with more details. Ishika, do highlight how challenging it was to attempt this cloud seeding, and then are people on the ground happy about this artificial rainfall?
Well, Aditi, this is the first time that we are seeing that cloud seeding, in fact, has happened in Delhi. So certainly, in terms of that, the Delhi government says that it was quite a challenging task, to get the aircraft ready, and then to make sure that, the appropriate, weather conditions are there, and then going and waiting for the IMD signal. But, what we saw today is that 2 cloud seeding trials took place today. Now, as per the government, what the report that has been submitted by the IIT Kanpur in their assessment, that tells us is that there have actually been, certain changes in the PM 2.5 and PM 10 levels, because what they say that in areas like Mayur Vihar, where the AQI was at 221, it in fact decreased to 207 after the first cloud seeding trial. And then if we talk about Karol Bagh, there it was 230, which came down to 206. In Burari, it was 229, which came down to 203 AQI. Now, they are also saying that there were, in fact, after the second, cloud seeding, there were even more reduction that was seen in the air quality levels. But certainly, the scientists of the IIT Kanpur, they are saying that there are 2 more trials that are scheduled for tomorrow to better assess the entire procedure and how it will be planned out today, because they say that today the clouds that were present in the air, they had less moisture. So certainly the politics also, in fact, Aditi, has heated up on this, and remains to be seen how difficult it will be for the government to now go ahead with this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ishika, for staying up and giving us this reaction of yours. We will come back to you as and when Delhi government decides to go with it in future as well. Shifting our focus to the cyclonic eruption that is happening near the coastal areas, at least one person has died in cyclone-related activities, while 2 people have sustained injuries in Andhra Pradesh. Severe cyclonic storm Monta in the Bay of Bengal has started making landfall near Andhra Pradesh's Kakinada, bringing strong winds, heavy rainfall and coastal flooding risks across Andhra Pradesh. The authorities have opened relief camps, issued safety advisories and suspended train services in affected regions. As per the India Meteorological Department, there is heavy to very heavy rainfall expected in at least 28 districts in Andhra Pradesh tomorrow. And shifting our focus to a crime that is so gory that will give you shockwaves. There has been a big twist in the Delhi acid attack case. In a huge admission, the victim's father has said that his daughter was carrying a toilet cleaner, not acid, a toilet cleaner from home, which she poured on herself and blamed the person, the boy that is now an accused in the case. So an acid attack that was made into an acid attack just to put a person, an innocent person, behind bars. Yesterday we told you how a 20-year-old woman claimed that she suffered burn injuries while trying to protect her face in an alleged acid attack by a man. This man, as per the victim, she said that he had been stalking her for days and his 2 accomplices are also there, but that whole story was just a tale of her imagination and a vindictive plot of a father and a daughter. The story has taken a 180 turn. The woman's father, Akil Khan, who was on the run, has now been caught by the Delhi police. He has confessed to having fabricated this entire acid attack story to frame 3 men. The woman had lied at the instance of her father, who wanted revenge against harassment complaint filed by the wife of one of the accused. So a person's wife accuses you of some harassment, but this is how you come down and take a revenge. You frame those 3 people in a fake acid attack in a country where people are sensitive about these issues. We, you and I, go and campaign around the streets saying that acid attacks should come down. But now that this false case has been highlighted, it brings us to a very pertinent question. Is there a misuse of law in our country? This remains our top focus. We will be giving you more details, but for now we're slipping into a very short break.